What's that mean? What does that mean? I'm tired of buying cream.
Figured that I could make my own cream.
So you decided to sabotage my dish!
I had to stop injecting bleach because my boobs got too big. You know how you get a recipe and you're like, where's the fucking recipe? I was a little girl. Like, no, where's the recipe? This is Sunday night dinner and a movie. This is the one stream a week that I ask you, in particular, to not be an asshole. Not today. Not on the Lord's Day. The Lord being me. Okay? I am the Lord. This is the Lord's Day. Yo! How we doing? Why does something look so dark? Maybe it's just because it's so dark out. I was like, why does it look so dark? Ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. Bum 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 bum. How we doing, everybody? Welcome into the Sunday cooking stream. Yup. We're making fish and chips, but it's Asian because last time I tried to make food that wasn't Asian, it tasted like shit. Okay, we're making fish and chips tonight, but I really want to watch. Can you turn the music off? No. We're making fish and chips tonight, but it is Chinese salt, pepper, fish and chips. So let's be real, though. Fish and chips slap. Okay, it's going to be really hard to screw this up. I say before I get to the actual making of the recipe where, who knows, I might fuck it up. Yeah, cut to result. I mean, it's fish and chips. How hard could it be? Cut to screaming in the kitchen. But I decided that I wanted to bring the wok back. The return of the wok. The return of the wok. And we're going to make fish and chips. Let me see if I can find... Let me see if I can find a short little... Am I making my own chips? Yes, I am. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. Errol, thank you so much for the 26 months. Are the chips going to be fries? Yeah. Are you doing the double boiled? And yes, double boil. I don't know. I'm just going off this recipe that I found online. Trotter, thank you for the 3 months. Lana Kaylee, thank you for the tier 1. Brenner, thank you for the 15 months. Did you watch Love and Host? No, I did not. I went and did friendship things today. And I went to, I don't know if anybody here is like an LA person or has been to the Rose Bowl flea market. FYI, guys, I know I've said this before. I don't really watch Twitch. I don't watch Twitch because usually I feel like I don't have that much time in the day, and I'm either prepping for my own stream or like every once in a while trying to go out and do something that's not on my computer. So most of the times, if you ask me if I've seen something, no. I'm sure it was crazy. Yeah, I don't watch Twitch, but you better watch Twitch. No, because most of the time I'm like doing something to prepare for my stream. So anyway, I went to the Rose Bowl flea market, which is the mother of all flea markets. I've always wanted to go. For the 8.5 years that I have lived in Los Angeles, I have always wanted to go. I got this there today. And I found, okay, wait, I have to show you the other things that I got too. Okay. So I bought this for Will. No, I didn't wash before wearing. Not at all. I got this for... Can I even show that? Oh, shit. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just not going to show it again in case. Anyway, I got this. It is so tight on him. I saw that the size was XL. I had him try it on when I got home. Let me show you this pic. I was like, okay. It sort of fits. You know what? I think he can pull it off. I'm into men wearing really tight crop tops. It's a little bit small, but honestly, it's a fucking vibe. He also was like, I love Vampirella. I said, I know. That's why I got this for you. Sorry, it doesn't fit. Baby tees are in. He said he's still going to wear it. He could barely take it off. Like he almost ripped it taking it off, but he said he's like once it's on, it's fine. It's very tight, but it's okay. Okay, I got this and I was going to wear this for stream, but it's so tight too. It was just crushing me. But look. Look it. Okay, but I saw this and I was like, that'll fit. So tight. So tight. It was so tight it made Elvira's titties even bigger. It stretched them out. Anyway, still cool. I'll wear it. And then I got this for Peach Jars because she is obsessed with Playboy. She collects like vintage Playboy magazines. She has the coolest Playboy collection. And I saw this and I was like, oh, I got to get that for her. And then the last one, I got this cool Paris, Texas. Wim Wenders cutoff tee. I was going to wear this one, but then I was like, oh, well, I'm cooking with oil tonight, so I don't want to get grease all over it. Anyway, it was a good day because I feel like I've been going to flea markets and flea markets have a lot of flea markets have been overtaken by fast fashion. I'm like, nice try. Nice try, fast fashion. Like you'll go to a stall and it's Fashion Nova shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Are those newly made or vintage? You know, it's a good question. I feel like they're probably not vintage because I think they would have been more expensive. Yeah, it's like Shein out of nowhere. I know. They're still cool though. Like I didn't want an AliExpress trinket. I want something real. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people who I've talked to who are big thrifters love to go to, flea markets and stuff have complained about this issue where you really have to either go to the right flea markets or be ready to sort through a bunch of shit. And a lot of times they have the stalls that are in the entrance. So when you walk into a flea market, the first places that you see, it's all like cheap, cheap fast fashion shit that was made in a factory in China. And I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. None of this. Anyway, Rose Bowl is at the Rose Bowl flea market is at the Rose Bowl. So they have the whole parking lot and it is massive. It is really the creme de la creme of flea markets in Los Angeles. Really cool. I only probably did so I went with Sidion, I went with Cyan, and then I met Alyssa, who some of you may know if you listen to her podcast with Ray. She's awesome. She has this business where she sells self-defense items, but they're really cute. It's like the cutest it'll be like the cutest pocket knife. Yeah, it's spelled Alythuh. So I met her today and hung out with her today, and she's really, really cool. We just traded stories, got into each other's lore. Tiny protectors. Yeah, here, let me pull this up. Like, hello. Look at this stun gun. Look at this angry mushroom. Anyway, she is insanely talented and creative, and also has a wild backstory, like just how she got to where she was. And anyway, so I asked Sid at one point, it was probably 2 hours into thrifting, and I'm like, how much have we done? She goes, there's so much more. But I slept for 4 hours last night. I got my ass up this morning to go all the way to Pasadena and go to the flea market. And so at one point I was like, I think I'm tapped. I'm just going to have to come back and see more of what I miss. It's only once a month though. It's the second Sunday of every month. Lisa's always talked about how they have a smart design, not just cute. Yeah, no, they're cute, but also very well made. If you're gonna get lit up, might as well make it cute. Yup. I followed her for so many years. It's great to see her get her flowers. Her brand has grown so much. Yeah, she was asking me a lot of questions about the industry and just, I think what's interesting is she's online, she has a really big Instagram Twitter following, but she has a ton of female followers. Most of her followers are female. And so I think she's being introduced to a different part of the internet because of her podcast with Ray. So she was just like, so do you get a lot of harassment? And I was like, oh, girl. Oh, girl. And we were just talking about politics, and she was asking me about just how that goes online, but in a way where she's like, oh, I bet that's great. Yeah. No, she was asking me questions that she knew the answers to, though. And anyway, so I got back and was like so tired, but I'm making fish and chips tonight, and it's going to be great. Here, I have a short video we can watch of what I am making here. And yeah. She must not watch the streams. Well, she's just, there's being on the internet, and then there's being on the internet. Once upon a time, I was on the internet. And now I'm on the internet. So it goes. Yeah. But I told her, I was like, look, just do your podcast, run your business, do your thing. And don't worry about trying to navigate any of this because you're not a streamer. Yeah, we were also talking about comments, and I'm like, look, comments are a double-edged sword because it's really nice seeing nice comments, especially when you feel like you are being brigaded by bad comments. So when you see a nice comment, it reminds you like, oh yeah, what I'm doing here is worthwhile. Like there are people who appreciate having me in this space, and it's nice to read nice things. Hello. It's just as simple as that. It's really nice to read nice things. But in reading those nice things, you're also going to be reading really bad things. So if you try to avoid just comments in general, which I've tried in the past, then you also miss out on the good stuff. Like when I was avoiding comments for a minute, comments, DMs, all that, when I finally checked back in, of course there's like a bunch of bad ones, but there were a number of people who were Palestinian, who had family in Gaza, who had reached out and just said like, hey, wanted to say thanks for being a voice on this platform. And I'm like, see, that's the type of thing where I'm like, I want to read that stuff. I want to see that stuff, but you have to wade through a lot of ass cheeks. Just total butt cheeks. Will you do a podcast with just you and Cutie? Yeah, how about Sam and I have a podcast? Cutie and Sam have a podcast. Me and Cutie have a podcast. I like it. And whoever's podcast it is so passive aggressive to whoever is not on that podcast. So like mine and Sam's podcast, we're just, Cutie's the villain. Cutie and Sam's podcast, I'm the villain. Mine and Cutie's podcast, Sam is the villain. Create drama so you get more of an audience. Never say why you have separate podcasts. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever done that before, Nice comments are also kind of poison pill. Validation from strangers can make validation in real life seem less real. No. I mean, I actually think getting validation from nice comments is important, because when you do the type of, content that I do, when you speak about the things that I speak about, you need to know that it's resonating with people. That there's there's a purpose to it, that people are being people are being positively affected by it, And then, when I have conversations with streamer friends or just people who understand who I am and what I do in this industry, that's it's different, but it's also important. Speaking of drama, Cutie and Sam are doing a baking stream later tonight during your cooking stream. I swear to God, if any of you go to that baking stream, I will find out. If you do not watch me make these fucking Chinese salt and pepper fish and chips, I have a very particular set of skills. I have a very particular set of skills, and I will find you. I will find you. I'm actually doing a baking thing with Cutie. I don't know. I don't remember when. But it's some... Wait, it wasn't... Wait. No, she would have reminded me. Maybe it's next Sunday? No, because I was on the phone with her today. She would have reminded me. I think it's next Sunday that we... Yeah, because I remember I was like, oh, okay, I can do that because Thanksgiving isn't until the last week. Yep. I completely forgot about the Mormon stream. I mentioned it yesterday. Just waiting until Streamer Awards are done, because she's basically doing a ton of sponsors right now for Streamer Awards. So the baking stream is sponsored, and then Streamer Awards in December, and then after that, then we will be doing our Mormon stream. What the fuck is a Mormon stream? Yeah, we're gonna dress up as Mormons, make Mormon themed food, which I don't know what that is. Jay Hearn, thank you for the 24 months. Dova Bear, thank you for the 2 months. What else was I talking about? What was I saying? What were we talking about? We were talking about comments. Did I wrap that up? All right, let's watch this quick video on Chinese salt and pepper fish and chips, which I am going to be making.
Sichuan pepper fish and chips.
Oh my God.
Step 1, mix your batter.
Mix your batter. Oh shit, I gotta start my server for my... God. Okay, mix your batter.
Step 2, dip your fish. Step 3, salt and Sichuan peppercorns. Step 4, deep fry your chips for the first time, low and slow. Step 5, deep fry your fish, high heat first, then down to a simmer. Step 6,
why is it so zoomed in?
Second time, high heat till it's crisp.
I think they need to zoom in even more. I don't think it's zoomed in enough. Okay. Wait, this actually might be this is School of Walk.
Step 5.
I think
Deep
that's-
fry your fish.
yeah.
High heat first, then down to simmer.
I think this is the recipe that I'm using.
Step 6.
Okay. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Great. We're going to start that. Okay. Let me just go. I was charging my battery for my kitchen cam because it was at 6%. So let me make sure that that is ready to go. All right. Okay. Okay, testing. Hello. Okay, we're in business. Yo, something smells dead in my kitchen. Why does it smell like a dead animal? It's not the fish. It's something else. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, does it look blurry? Dude, I don't know what it is. My camera used to be perfectly fine, and then it's kind of like funky. It's a little bit blurry. Yeah, why does that look? God damn it. Okay, let's try that. Shit. Um. Oh. No, it's not on autofocus. I don't know. This camera, I dropped it. I dropped it a couple months ago, and then I think I just broke it. Like it's not on autofocus. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, yeah. It's fine. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to the sound of my voice. Ew, this is filthy. Can you guys see how dirty this is? Oh, that's so nasty. All right, whatever. Okay. Throw that in the wash. It's so dirty. Maybe the apron's the dead thing. Hogan, thank you for the gifted sub. Okay. Okie dokie, I need to get my wok. The wok is out, but I need this part of the wok. Time to walk and roll. Time to walk and roll, everybody. All right. All right. Okay, you guys all move over here. Come on. I actually got my spices. I got them ready to go. We're really improving here. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Let's put that over there. God, it smells fucking horrible. I did burn my hair earlier, but that's not what that is. Will had lit a candle, and I did not see that I was leaning over the candle, and then suddenly I smelled burnt hair. I was like, oh my God, that's my hair. I'm always burning my hair. Tim Pool's hairline. Speaking of hair, thank you, Tim Pool's hairline. Okay, here's our beautiful wok. Great. Okay. All right. Now, what do we have next? Where is my phone for the recipe? Shit. Oh, here it is. All right. Welcome to another cooking stream. Today, we're making Chinese salt pepper fish and chips. Who's ready? Who's excited? Who is excited? All right. So, I struggled getting a proper fish for this. Ideally, you want cod. So you want a white fish. You want a thick white fish. She's a thick bitch. You want it thick, you want it flaky. And all they had was tilapia. So we're using tilapia. I have that same wok induction cooker and I love it. That plastic handle cover smelled like ass to me though, so I ended up removing it. Oh, this one? Do a leather one instead, but I have no issues with heat and the raw steel. So far that hasn't been my problem. I've had other problems, but that's really been me. Okay, so we only have tilapia. I don't know how that's gonna go because tilapia falls apart. So this might be, we might already have major problems, but that was all that they had. And I didn't have time to go to another store. Okay, corn flour. I don't have corn flour. And there was no corn flour at the store. But I texted Cutie and she said that I can just use regular flour. So, cold beer. Get your cold beer. I got a cold beer in the fridge. Cold beer. Okay. Should probably test this out, make sure it's properly cold. That's a cold beer. We need to start baking in time for multiple stores. No, I go to one store and that's it. If they don't have what I need, we're just making do with what we got. And that's the way the cookie crumbles, folks. All right. Cold beer, chili powder, turmeric, salt, black pepper. Okay, Sichuan peppercorns. I'm going to give you one guess. If the store that I went to that didn't even have corn flour had Sichuan peppercorns, and the answer is no, they did not. But Sichuan peppercorns substitute. So you can mix black pepper and coriander seeds. So here's my coriander seeds. Here's my black pepper. We're gonna do that. We are gonna do that. We're just going to make it. We're going to make it. If I can make it there, I'm gonna make it everywhere. I don't know how much we need, so let's just do, this is probably too much, but we got half a tablespoon of yeah, that's definitely too much. It's fine. We can use the extras for, what did the store have? Beer. They had beer. Okay. Really stumped like half of it. Cool. Huh? Okay. Yep. Great. All right. Just dumped half the coriander. That's fine. Okay. We're going to mix that. And here we go. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a whole subreddit of people giving recipes bad reviews while also revealing that they substituted and changed so many things that it's not even the same recipe anymore. People love to do that. People love to be like, oh, amazing review. All I did was change every single thing in the recipe. Love it. Love it. Okay. Next. 2 large potatoes. Salt, vegetable oil. So to make the batter, place the, okay, so we got to get a bowl out of here. Alrighty. Okay. It's probably in here. Yep. All right. So we're going to make our batter. We want 130 grams of flour. $130 grams of flour is that doesn't seem right. It's like a cup? I think it's like a cup. A half a cup? I don't know. Google's telling me 130 grams. Okay. 130 grams of all-purpose or plain flour is equal to 1 cup. So we'll just do a little. Sorry, 1 second. I need to close this door. Sorry, there's a preacher. There's a preacher screaming over yonder. How many cups are, wait, but see, then it's like, how many cups are in 130 grams? Half a cup. What the hell? It's okay, it's just breading. That's true. Rebel Mike, thank you for the 15 months. All right. Okay. Google is telling me 2 different things. Is it high density flour? What the fuck is high density flour? Google has told me half a cup and also 1 cup. Whatever. It's for the breading, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, next. Place the spices, salt, pepper together. Okay, now, riddle me this. Riddle me this. 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then it says Sichuan pepper seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of Sichuan peppercorns. So are we adding up all that salt? Is that a typo? I don't know. It's a mystery. This is like the cube. But in order to get out of the cube, I have to figure out exactly how much salt is needed. The Sichuan pepper seasoning is being sprinkled on the fish? What? Okay, so let's start off with the non-salt. Chili powder. Check. Have you tried reading the steps? Those are the steps. Chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, easy peasy. Easy peasy, done. Turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon. Oops. Okay. Okay. Done. All right, now there's 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Fuck. 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to I'm going to combine them. So it's going to be 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Fine. Jack Showtime, thank you for the 21 months. Use your instincts. Have you watched any cooking streams of mine? I have 0 instincts in the kitchen. All right, so we put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then we want to do black pepper here, and we want to do 1/4 of black pepper. Okay. And then I think, yes, great. Let's do our Sichuan peppercorns, 2 teaspoons. Put that in. 1 teaspoon. The Szechuan pepper is for sprinkling after you're done frying. It doesn't tell me that. It just says fill the pot or the wok, deep fry the potatoes, set aside on kitchen towel to drain excess oil, turn the heat up, carefully cook the battered fish in the oil for 8 to 12 minutes or until golden brown. Drain the excess oil on a kitchen towel. Deep fry the chips a second time until golden brown, this time for only 3 to 4 minutes. And that is it. That is all that it says. So oh my God. This is harder than my AP calculus class. I'm just going to do 1. I'll just put 1 in. Yep. Okay. All right. And we're going to mix that It's mentioned in the video for the recipe, not the recipe itself. You know, I don't understand why the fuck that is. I don't know. Why did I take AP Calc? Because in high school I took AP classes, so I took AP Calculus, AP Chemistry. I don't know. I don't know, man. Because I was going to study theater, and you never know when you're going to need AP Calculus. Did you pass any of them? Yes, I was a very good student. Not all subjects came naturally to me. I studied hard. Okay. You know what? Before we put the beer in, because I don't know how it's going to go, I'm going to cut up the potatoes. Because I think the first thing that we do, oh wait. Yeah, the first thing we do is the chips. First thing we do is the chips. This would work as like one of these old-fashioned 1950s. You know how they all had this is like the Maryland. Hold on. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard with the apron. If I ever need to do this like 1950s look of very pointed titties. The torpedo titties. Yep. Put me on lover host. Potatoes. Potatoes. The oil does heat up really fast in this thing. Okay. Put me. Come on, stay. If I ever go on love or host, this is what I'm gonna do. Anyway, just a fun little experiment in the kitchen. All right. Cut. So we want to wash these very well. Washed very well with the skin kept on. Okay. There's one. You don't want that dirt flavor? Maybe I do want that dirt flavor. Nothing wrong with a little dirt. Look, I'm making this for Will Neff. That man will eat dirt. It's good for you. Bacon, it's good for you. Okay. All right. All right. I swear to God, if he tries to pull some, no, this is not part of my diet. When he wanted me to make that insane pasta thing, but I don't have a pasta maker, and I just couldn't get it together to try and do that recipe. Maybe I'll do it in another cooking stream when I have more time. More time to plan. Okay. So he's still on the diet. Sometimes he won't be, and then sometimes he will be, and it's very inconsistent. So I'll make something and be like, no, I'm not eating that. Okay, so we want to cut these lengthwise into 1 centimeter thick slices. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. Oh my God. I'm going to cut that in half. And then we want 1 centimeter, and I have no idea. That's fine. I think these are probably going to be a little big. God, this is tough. Yeah, they're chips. The chips. I don't really care about being accurate with these, even though you probably do want them to be like close to equal size. Wait, this is going to be a lot. Am I going to need all these? I also like with fish and chips, I like thicker chips. Are you going to double fry them? I think that's what the recipe calls for. Look at these big boys. Look at those big boys. All right. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you in like 2 seconds how we do it. All right, do we think this is enough fries? Let's see. Yeah. That's plenty. I'll cut a couple. I just don't want to do it in I don't want to do 2 full batches, you know? Miasma Live, thank you for the gifted. I don't want to do 2 full batches, so I'd rather just cut a couple more. Better than the soggy In-N-Out fries, dude. For real. Those fries suck ass. All right, that's enough. Okay, set that off to the side. Okay. Now let's finish with the batter here. Okay, so we got to put in the beer. 250 milliliters of very cold beer. 250 milliliters, 2 cups. All right, it's like 1 cup. Okay, so here's half. Okay. Okay. Mix this batter up. Yeah, I feel like if I did not use that 1 cup of batter, this might, no, this is not liquidy enough. Huh? How do you get in there? I don't know. I think he's learned to open your door. Do you think this needs to be more liquidy? It's fish and chips. It's Chinese, though. I can't tell. I don't know how liquidy the batter's supposed to be.
I think that looks like batter to me.
It is batter, but is it like too thick? I don't know.
No, I think that looks correct to me.
Why is he a monk? Because he
I
has,
need the blood church. I'll take this off. I want too hot.
he's converted. Hold on. Oopsie. Do you want a beer?
A beer?
Do you want this?
A beer? And some chips?
There's cold ones in the fridge.
Cold?
Cold beer. Get your cold beer.
Some chips and a cold beer.
Okay, I think this is better. I think it's a little more, a bit of better batter. Slightly thinner than pancake batter. I think that's good.
You got the 12 wrap.
Yeah, I was the only one. Wait, don't eat too much.
I'm just having a few chips.
I'm making chips.
You know me. I can eat.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's thin enough. I think that's thin enough. Now, where's my fish? Where's my fish? Here's my fish. Here's my tilapia. Now, if you're just getting here, I said, when you make fish and chips, I was reading, you typically want to use cod. You want a fish that is thick, flaky, white. Nuking God, thank you for the bits. Was that the food equivalent of I'm walking here, I'm making chips here? But anyway, there was nothing besides tilapia, so that's what I'm using. Okay. Here 'tis. Here 'tis the tilapia. We want to oh, keep some extra plain flour aside in a bowl for tossing the fish into later. Okay. So first we're gonna start off, half fill a large pot. We're gonna do the fish or the chips. Yes. Set aside on kitchen towel. Okay, this is a little crowded. This is a little, I'm walking here. Hey, I'm walking here. Okay. Let's make some space. Let's set these back because otherwise that oil is going to get all over them. And then here's my potatoes. All right. So I'm going to fill this like halfway. God, that feels like such a waste of oil. It's like the entire thing. Okay. Yeah, that's about the whole thing. Yep, I think that's halfway. Hopefully that's enough. You can reuse. You can just drink it after later. Oh, okay, cool. Dee Dee, thank you for the gifted. Yeah, I'll probably just drink it. Put the bottle in there too. Okay, smart. Yeah. Smart. Let me see. I thought I had a little bit of extra oil. Okay. Vegetable oil. Oh, here it is. I just want to make sure it all. Okay. There she goes. Now, heat it to 130 degrees Celsius. I think that's like 260 degrees. So somebody can check on that. All right. So we're going to go 260. And then we're going to put some time on that. Okay. No, you guys, that was vegetable oil. No. The extra stuff, that's the veggie oil. It's not olive oil. Look, I'm an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. Soak the chips in water. Wait, what? Oh, did I skip that? Oh. Okay, wait. Cut the potatoes lengthwise, soak the slices in cold water. Oh, yes. I did forget to do that. Right? Good to know that I forgot to do that. Okay, cold water. Cold water. Wait, this water is not cold. There we go. There we go. Pat them dry using a kitchen towel or tea towel set aside for deep frying. Here they are. Good catch on that. Good catch. Okay. Now, how long are they supposed to soak? You guys done? You done soaking? As long as possible. What? I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. I don't know. Okay, wait. So if those are soaking, should I do... No, because you got to do the chips, and then you do the fish, and then you do the chips again. Yeah, we don't got that kind of time. What do I look like over here? That I got all day? Google says at least 15 minutes. All right, well, fuck you, Google. It's to keep them from browning when exposed to air. What if I throw some ice cubes in here? Okay, maybe that will be faster. Ask Cutie how to speed soak. Yeah, she is a soaking expert, so she'll probably tell me the best tricks. Okay. I'm gonna give this 5 minutes. And by that I mean I'm gonna give it 1 more minute. Yeah, they're currently being waterboarded. They're being waterboarded. This water is soaking potatoes. Yeah, it's real cold. It's real cold. Yeah, I'm kind of just cleaning them up. Yeah. Getting the starch off. You're doing the double fry. It's in the recipe instructions. The double fry is for the chips. I don't know. It doesn't tell me to double fry the fish. Yeah, and then I got to pat them by. Right. All right. That's good enough. Okay, you guys, get out here. I'll pat them. Potato. Just the chips need the double fry. Okay, that's probably why the instructions don't have it for the fish then. Okay. Okay. Man, this just feels so extra with these potatoes. Like, my God, this feels really dramatic. You know? Really is just quite extra. God. Aren't you Irish? I am Irish. Yeah, should I get a Wait. Hold on, I have an idea. Hold on. Genius. Ain't nobody doing it like me. Kwan's Kitchen, baby. I don't even use this for my hair because I hate blow drying. So I'm using it for the potatoes. I use this for Farley when I give him a bath. This is cursed. Okay. It's working though. It's really drying them out. See, this is just like it's the Farley. It's the Farley dryer. Farley, you know what this is? He hates it so much. He always tries to run away when I pull the hair dryer up. So I just like from a distance. All right, these better be the best goddamn chips in the world, man. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Quan. I just showed you a technique to dry your potatoes before you fry them to make chips for fish and chips. So that is a little technique that I picked up traveling around the world, and now I'm sharing it with you. Okay, so this is ready to go. Okay, it's our temp, 265, 265, and we're gonna deep fry them for approximately 8 minutes or until cooked through. Another click hole video in the making. Oh my God, I forgot about that one. You know, that's one that Sam and Cutie should discover as well. Thanks for sharing. I'm learning so much. Because remember, y'all, I'm a W thinker. That's me. That's what we do here. We W think. 3 brain cells. If you can't stand the blow dryer, get out of the kitchen. You fucking donkey! You're not using a blow dryer! You donkey! Where's your blow dryer? Your mind went to white. Remember, guys, I'm a white woman. All right, is this hot yet? Reheated? Nope, we're not. Okay, how long is this gonna take? Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. But the midnight train gone. Mom, is dinner almost ready? Mom's over here like. Make your own dinner. Mom's busy. Mom's got her dinner. Mom's got her dinner. That's the bad trad life, y'all. You needed to start heating the oil when you got out the ingredients. Well, I didn't do that, and so we're gonna. Let me just test it. Okay, that is not hot at all. Oh my God. All right, how do we heat this oil faster? You don't? What if I shoot it? This is a fake gun, just for clarity.
If I had a real gun, I would shoot it to see if the bullet would potentially cause the oil to heat up faster. She came to Sunday dinner strapped. That's fucking right, okay? 'Cause here's the thing, folks. This isn't just a cooking stream. This is a goddamn American stream. And you never know when you're going to need your Glock 97 AB 12. You know, we got babies without blickies, and that needs to change. Not enough babies with blickies. New gun just dropped. That's right, America. So today, I'm going to teach you how to make fish and chips. I'm going to also teach you how to use this here Glock 97. Welcome to Cooking with Carolyn. Welcome to, okay, is this hot now? Fuck! Come on. God, that is not hot at all. All right, what else can we do? Maybe I turn the temperature up. Flirt with it to make it hotter. Hi. So, like, do you come here often? What's your name? All right, you guys, I haven't done this in a minute. Hold on. Do you like vodka? So, a preacher walks into a bar and he says, "Can I get a holy vodka?" Why did the chicken cross the road? Because what else was it going to do? Ask if it has an OnlyFans. Do you have an OnlyFans? Oh, just made a little bit of noise. Do you have an OnlyPans? Because I'll be your OnlyPan. Oh my God, it's starting to pop. It's starting to pop. Okay, it's starting to pop. Do you like cheese? That is like my favorite line from She's the Man. Do you like cheese? Mm-mm. Okay, it's getting hotter. Okay, do you want to, do you want to sing For Good? You can be Elphaba and I'll be Glinda. Okay, no, I didn't like that. Oh, wait, it's popping. It's popping. Okay, what else can I do? You guys, I need some backseat flirting. Help. Do you cook here often? Oh God. My knee just popped. Okay, but it's popping. It's popping. Oh my God. How do you drop it down low and not fuck your knee up? Oh my God, my knee. Fuck. Oh, no. I need workers' comp. Just be 20. Okay, you're suggesting. Wait, yeah, maybe I do I ignore it. Like. Oh, you're so funny. Sorry, what? Oh my God, I know, I was just saying that. Oh. Oh, sorry. I almost hit your drink. My bad. Oh my God, Flunky, thank you so much for the 5 subs. Oh, oh, no, I'm good. I already have a drink. Thanks, though. Maybe my next one. Oh my God, yes, I'm single, but I don't know if I'm looking. I'm like down to fuck. Really only if I find the right person tonight, maybe at this place. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I have 10 more Modelos. Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep getting in your space. Yeah. Oh no, I spilled my drink on you. I'm so sorry. I guess I'll need another one. Yes. Can I have another Modelo, please? Thanks. God bless America, man. This is taking fucking forever. At this point, I'm going home with the oil. Does this work ever? Yes. Yep. And when in doubt, you just throw a jazz square. Easy on the knees. Oh, come on, man. I just want to make these fucking chips. Yeah, this is how, exactly what you just saw there was what captured the heart and soul of Will Neff. That's how you do it, folks. King of Nowhere, thank you for the 15 months. Can you prepare the batter for the fish? It's already done. I've already done it. I guess I can tell you guys about the party I went to last night. After stream, I just really want this. Okay, it's starting to bubble. It's giving. It's giving bubble. Wait, what's the poll? Let me see. How do I see it? Do I have to go to this computer over here to see the poll? Would Caroline's flirting work on you? Okay. Would Caroline's flirting work on you? Most of you said yes, but not because of the Riz. I still got it. It's giving up. Yeah, you know, it keeps wanting to do it, but I think it's scared. Which, you know, is really something we all can relate to. I think there's a lot of things in life that we're scared to do, you know? We're scared to start a new job. We're scared to quit our jobs and go down a different career field. Scared to tell our parents that, no, we are officially not going to law school. And instead, we're going to be an internet person. We are scared to mess up an audition. Where they want you to be an immigrant field worker and use a Chinese accent and your nails look like this. There's a lot of times when we're scared in life and we still persevere, you know? Sometimes you just need a little bit of, because you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. Faith, faith, faith. Because you gotta have faith, faith, faith. You gotta have faith, faith, faith. Baby. You know what? We're doing it. We're doing it. She's going. She's going. She's in. She's in. She's officially in. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Okay. You know what? Sometimes in life, you can't wait. You cannot wait for your moment. You have to just seize it. You just have to do it, even when you don't feel ready to do it. You got to full send sometimes. Because you can't wait around. You wait around, look, life goes by pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around every once in a while, you're going to miss it, okay? And if you don't throw the fries in the air fryer, even when you don't think it's ready, and by that I mean the wok, then you're going to miss your entire life. So just do it. Just fucking do it. That's right. And these might be the worst chips that I've ever made, but at least I did it. Yep. Nobody can say that I didn't do it. Now, set aside on kitchen towel to drain excess oil, which we're gonna do in like 5 minutes because we're gonna double fry. We're gonna double fry these bad boys. So I'm gonna put them, actually, let's do this. Baby! Yeah, we're gonna put them on here. I'm gonna put them on here. I mean, you know what? I would eat this because I made it. And you gotta be proud of what you do in life. You gotta be your #1 cheerleader, okay? Because even if other people don't support you, you cannot stop supporting you always. Always. American made. That's how we do it here. Made in America. Made in America. Bro, I'm pretty sure God doesn't even support me. You don't need God, you just need yourself. So you're your #1 always. If you have room in the fridge, throw them in there to rest. The colder they get, the crispier they'll be after the second fry. Love it. Prep a cooling rack. Let's see if I have one of those. All right, I got this. Got this. I'll drain that oil. Drain the swamp. Yeah. More like drain the oil. Okay, how long has it been? Oh my God, I have oil all over my phone. It's fine. There was a lot of oil on the phone. Sam asked Cutie if she'd want to go to Wicked, and Cutie said Ludwig already got her tickets. If only Sam had another friend that loves theater to go with. So Sam and I have already talked about going to Wicked, and I'm going to assume that she was asking her if she wanted to come with us. That this isn't a second betrayal, where first Will asked Hassan if he wanted to go to Back to the Future, the musical. And now Sam asking Cutie if she wanted to go to Wicked. I'm choosing to believe that it meant all together. And that the people in my life, if there's one thing they know about me, it's that I love musical theater. Would not miss an opportunity to go see a musical. with the person who loves musical theater. Because obviously not. Obviously that would be crazy. That would be fucking insane. And it certainly wouldn't happen, because then I would go full villain. Okay. Man, I thought this was going to take like 20 minutes. I'm nervous my older brother won't ask me to go see Wicked with him. Here's what you do. So if your older brother doesn't ask you to go see Wicked with him, do you mean the movie? So what you do is you rent out a theater and you change his ticket so that it says that that's the theater that he's going to watch it at. And the movie that you play, the movie that you play when he's going to the theater to see what he thinks is Wicked is you play a silent black and white film, and not one of the good ones. Wait, why are these all falling apart? This doesn't seem right. You guys, what is happening? What is happening? These have all fallen apart. They're crumbling as we speak. Because it wasn't hot enough? Shut up. Oh, God. Oh, no. It's... Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this out. Wow, this has fallen apart. All of these fries have fallen apart. Oh, dear God. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. This is the way the cookie crumbles. When you do things, and it's too early to do it. Sometimes you take these risks in life, and it literally falls apart, but that's okay. Because we're going to fry it again, but I want to do the fish. Okay. Here they go. Now it's time to do the fish. It's fine, you guys. It's gonna turn out. And then the fish needs to be at 180 degrees Celsius. So what the fuck is that? 180 Celsius to Fahrenheit 356. Okay. 356. Great. Turn that bad boy up. I'm going to put our fish in the batter. It's going to be tilapia. Ah! Okay. The worst fish that you can use. The worst fish you can use for fish and chips, because it is also going to fall apart. Okay. But we're just We're just going, merrily we roll along. Merrily we roll along. Bro, this is not that much fish. I mean, it's gonna have to make do. Please wait for the oil. It's hot enough. Look, listen to it. She's sizzling. She is sizzling. She's ready. You're not ready. You're not ready for her. Okay. Let's get that all in that batter. Get that all in that batter. Carefully cook the battered fish in the oil for 8 to 12 minutes or until golden brown. Okay, this is going to be delicious. Look at that. Look at that. You know, there's such few instructions, and yet somehow we've ended up here. All right, wait. You guys have been mentioning a temperature. I do have a temperature. I mean by that, a thermometer. My temperature is that I'm hot, hot, hot. I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Fuck, where's my thermometer? Bup, 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 bup. Where is this goddamn thermometer? I see the thermometer cover. Bup, 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 bup. Oh, I think it's all the way down here. Ah! Okay. There we go. Okay, she's at 270 and counting. $290. Still going up. $296.7. Come on. Come on, man. All right, 300. Okay, so it's not 355 yet. It's not 355, but it is at 305. So I'm going to give this 30 more seconds. God, look at these. Well, this is definitely hot enough for the chips now. It's hot enough for the chips. Come on, man. Show me 355. Come on, show me 355. 315. 315. So last night, I went to a party. It was my friend's boyfriend's party. And a lot of the people who are at this party are people who I hate because they're people who I worked in nightlife with, or otherwise people who inhabited the nightclubs. And I have like PTSD from that time. So when I go to a party and the first people I see are these people, I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna Brian kill me. Anyway, so I gave myself only 4 instances where I was allowed to say I hate everybody here. And once I reached 4, I was not allowed to voice that to my friends who were there. It was like, okay, I get 4 times. Like 4 instances with people at that party that would cause me to go, yep, I hate everybody. I hate these people. I hate them so much. Anyway, so there's this one promoter who he's either like 40 or 120, nobody knows. He's just like a rich LA guy, rich LA kid, like rich LA family, and he's just been in nightlife for forever. I hate this man. I genuinely, with the amount of drugs that he does, I do not know how he's still alive. So he's like the first person I see when I walk into this party. I'm like, great. Awesome. And okay, I think this is going to be hot enough. This is hot enough, so I'm going to throw her in. So I've realized that I've been spending too much time around Cutie, Cinderella, and Sam. Dude, it's telling me to do the fish and then the chips. Because ignore it. Okay. Hold on. We'll do the chips. Okay, we'll do the chips and then we'll do the fish. So the chips are going back in, and these chips are so broken. Very, very broken. But I think they're going to be delicious. Wow, that is really going. Okay, that is something. That is. So this time we just want to do 4 minutes on that. Okay, now it's frying. Now I see how the frying really works here. It's very much so frying up. We're back in business. We're good. So anyway, I know I've been spending too much time around Cutie and Sam and not around my normie friends because I made a joke when we all went upstairs to my friend's bedroom to like escape the crowd at the party, and we were all looking down at them. Not like looking, like literally we were up high looking down. And I jokingly was like, you guys, should I kill myself at this party? Do you think these people's lives would change and they would actually become better people? I was joking, obviously, but my friends were like, what? I'm like, yeah, wouldn't it be insane if I jumped down below right in front of this horrible promoter whose name I'm not going to say? It was like, that'd be pretty fucking funny. And then it somehow changes his life where he's like, I can't be this person that I've been for my entire life. I mean, I witnessed this tragedy, and now I'm going to go help people. And my friends, it was one of those where like, I guess that is the type of joke that Cutie will make all the time. Like when she was turning 30, she's like, should I kill myself? We were like, yeah, nothing good happens after 30. And so I say this and the room is quiet. And that is how I know I'm internet brained, because that is fucking internet brain. That is internet brain. That is Cutie Cinderella and sandwich-ified. And my friends were really scared. They were like, why would you say that? And I was like, never mind. My friend's like, please do not talk that way. Please do not talk that way. I was like, okay. I'm sorry. I said it to my sister one day by accident. She thought I was serious. I was like, wait, no, I didn't mean it. Yeah, and my one friend had done some mushrooms and she was like, that is not okay. Oh God. It's like, oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Mary and Joseph. You're not supposed to internet in public. I know. Well, lesson learned. Because I forgot that that's an internet thing. And that my normie friends, who I haven't seen in a while, would be shocked and appalled. It was pretty fucking funny. The internet brain rot is finally taking over. You know, ain't nothing I can do about that. Also, the word normie, I think people think is an offensive term. Like I've called my friends normies before, and they think it's like a bad thing. It's like a slur. All right. Let's take this out. But you want to know what? Once upon a time, okay, these are definitely not going to be that crispy, but I don't care because we're behind. We're so behind. Once upon a time, I also thought normie was like a rude thing to say. When people would call me a normie, I'd be like, what do you mean? Like I'm not cool? Which and now I use that. Man, you guys, I cannot tell you the experience of being in my 30s and not starting this internet career until I was in my 30s, and all of my friends are like very millennial. And none of them get this. So I'm like the person. I need you to just visualize. I am the Zoomer of our friend group. I'm the internet person. I'm the tech person. Like, do you know how funny that is? Yeah, it's very funny. Those are definitely not crispy, but it's time to put in the fish. Okay, why the fuck is that not sizzling that loud? Let's see. I think I'm gonna turn it up a tinge. Please do not break. Please, tilapia, please, for the love of God, please just stay. Stay. Do what I need you to do. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Okay. There we go. The fish is in. The fish is in. One more time. If you're the tech person, I'd hate to see your friends try to figure out streaming. Yeah. Yeah, that's what is, that is what is so crazy about this whole thing. It's like, I'm the one. I'm the one in the group. I'm the one. So that's why, you know, just a reminder of where I come from, okay? This is the world I come from, where I've had to learn all of this. Doing this at 30 and already not, you know, I'm on the younger side of millennials, so I'm 32, but I'm very, I am like a millennial who's not tapped in, or I, you know, was so. Okay, those are not good, but that's fine. So these need to cook for 8 to 12 minutes or until golden brown, and then we're gonna drain them on this paper towel. When you add a lot of things to the fryer, the temperature drops. Well, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. Oh Jesus. They're kind of fusing together. Oh. Ah! All right, this is going to be a very interesting fish and chips. Just letting you guys know that now. I'm letting you know that right now, as you can probably tell, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. But if I were to serve this to a British person, they would be like, yes. Yeah, okay. Oh, I need to tell you what we're watching for film night. So I can't believe what a fucking disaster this is gonna be. So these taste stale. These literally taste stale. No, you know what they're giving? They're giving In-N-Out. Should I just throw them in the air fryer? They're really giving In-N-Out. Maybe worse. All right, I'm gonna air fry them. Okay. Just gonna take a handful of them. Okay, so the first clue for what we're watching tonight is this is a movie. It's going to be, vibes are going to be very opposite of what vibes have been in here tonight. Just an FYI. This is a film that is an adaptation of a play. Play came out in 1985. and it won the Tony Award for Best New Play. And it put this playwright on the map and catapulted him into being a national success, nationally recognized. And the person who originated the role of the protagonist is someone who died earlier this year. Not too long ago, we did a tribute on him. And he won the Tony Award. He won the Tony Award for the play when it first premiered. And then the film came out in 2016. Film came out in 2016, and 5 of the 2010 Broadway revival cast members appeared in the film. 2 of whom, the leads, won their respective Tonys in 2010 when they were in the Broadway version, and then they were both nominated for Oscars for their roles in the film version. And here's a major clue. Here's a major clue. I have done a monologue from this play / film. I have performed the monologue. Yep. Yes, it is August Wilson's Fences. It's August Wilson's Fences, which, if you missed the story, when I was in high school and I was having to pick monologues and songs to perform for auditions to get into theater programs, I really was drawn to a monologue from a little play called Fences, and it was the character of Rose. And I did not know the play. I did not know that Rose was a middle-aged Black woman in the 1950s in Philly. And this monologue that she delivers is, it's heartbreaking, but it's also somebody who's also very specific to this middle-aged Black woman in the 1950s in Philly who is, wondering about when her life is going to begin. And that was a monologue that I performed. Fuck. I don't even want to touch this because it's falling apart. Shit. I do not want to touch this because it is falling apart. That's just going to have to stay like that. Just stay down. Oh my God, it's so... Bro, never use tilapia. I know I had nothing else. Okay, I think these are starting to... Okay. They still taste stale. Swiggity, thank you so much for the bits. So yes, we are going to watch Fences, and as I have forewarned you, it is not the silly, goofy vibes, not those silly, goofy vibes of the cooking stream, but it is fantastic. August Wilson is one of the finest dialogue writers. Rest in peace. One of the finest dialogue writers of all time. He Denzel Washington and Viola Davis star in the film. Denzel also directed the film. And the reason that it took a long time for the film adaptation from the play when it came out in 1985 is because August Wilson was very insistent on having an African-American director. So finally, Denzel, who had starred in the Broadway revival in 2010, was like, okay, I'm going to come aboard. August Wilson died in 2005. He is the only credited screenwriter. We talk about Fences. We talk about Fences. He is the only credited screenwriter on Fences because Denzel and everyone who was a part of the film, producing the film, agreed that, you know, the centerpiece of Fences, the play, is the dialogue. Because August Wilson had this unique talent for taking, like, you know, taking a blue-collar 1950s African-American characters and making that dialogue sing on the page. Like, there was a poetry to the way that he composed his dialogue. And it's one of those where if you close your eyes. All right, I'm going to leave the fries like this, even though I think they're still going to be stale. I think they're still going to be stale, but that's okay. And then this should just about be done. Oh no! God, okay, I'm gonna have to make this sometime when I can actually find cod at the store, because all they fucking had was tilapia. All right, we're gonna end this. We are gonna end this, and I do not know how to scoop this out because it is very fragile. Let's try. Yeah, this has really not stuck to the fish at all. Okay. 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 Wowie, this looks like shit. I've been standing here. I've been standing here. God, I just want this to be done. Just want this to be over. Okay. Turn off. Computer, turn off. Okay. Anyway, Fences is also Viola Davis's one and only Oscar win. It was her first Oscar win. She won for Best Supporting Actress.
How's it coming?
We're done.
How's it look?
Oh, Chinese fried. Oh, that looks greasy.
Hey,
I like it.
you gonna eat it?
Yeah.
You gonna like it. Okay. 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 This is so greasy. What do you think I should do? All right, William. Okay.
I'm here to try.
This is so hot though.
Or tell me when done. Oh, those potatoes are cooked.
Wait, just come back. Come eat it. Come try it.
That's what I was doing, and then you were like, no, it's so hot.
No, no, no. I know. I just. Okay. I don't know why it's not that like.
Yeah, it looks like your breading is splitting a little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
Too much beer?
Maybe.
I was kind of just splashing that Modelo in.
Yeah, that would probably do it.
Do you think I put too much beer? You might have splashed it too much.
You got a sauce for this?
No. 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 But I do have this. Mayo ketchup.
No sauce. Try it raw.
You're gonna try it raw? Wait, it's gonna need something though. Wait.
I knew that tomato show. Potatoes are good.
Oh no, we're almost out of the mayo ketchup.
Hold on.
It's tilapia because they didn't have cod. Tilapia.
Did you season this at all?
Yes.
Really? Try it. Try it.
I did season it. I seasoned it.
Come.
I swear to God, I seasoned it. Everyone can attest. I put salt. Look at all these things that I put.
I'm lovingly gonna give this one a 7.
Wait, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you put some salt on it? Here. Let's do this.
Wait, you only seasoned it with salt?
No, no, no. I put salt. I put pepper. I did some Szechuan pepper. Here.
Oh, genius. Okay.
Okay, is that good? What do you think is
Oh, it's just all wrong.
it's all wrong?
The breading is just wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Like, I'm very fair with my judgments, and you've been killing it recently. This ain't it. I'm gonna eat it. But this ain't it.
No, please.
This is not the one.
Oh no. Do you want more, like just some sauce maybe you can drown it in?
The potatoes are good.
Okay.
Potatoes are what tastes with salad.
Okay. Oh, something is wrong with that batter. Okay. That is fucking horrible. Okay, the potatoes were good, he said. I do think the air fry helped immensely. The batter, how do I describe this? It's chewy. Like it's not it's chewy and it's stale. No, not like a corn dog. It's really bad. It has pretty much no flavor. Let me put some mayo ketchup on it. I mean, it's better when you put some mayo ketchup on it. Well, okay. Yeah, it's that is that is not good. Will was being very generous when he gave a 7. I'm gonna be honest. That is not deserving of a 7. That is maybe the worst fish and chips, fine. The worst battered fish I've ever had. It is really bad. People's points are on the line. Do we accept Will's 7? No. No. It's terrible. I'm gonna be so for real. Like this, I don't know how to describe this batter besides chewy and stale. He was being very nice to me. He was being very nice. And I will not give this to the front desk person to try because I'm not going to subject them to this. This is the things that I have made. Holy shit. This batter is, it's astonishingly, I really fucked that up. I feel like this is, it's like if you had preserved battered fish from the 1950s so it didn't mold, but it tastes old. Not rotten, but I genuinely, I cannot describe this batter accurately enough. Maybe you know what, you're just gonna have to eat the fish. Like it sat under a heat lamp for too long. Bingo. Bingo. When you go to, when it's like a buffet and they've got the hot food, that is what this tastes like. Yes. Thank you. Like it's been sitting under a heat lamp all day. Yeah, that's the perfect way to. The fish, look, I don't like tilapia. I think tilapia sucks. It's a very boring fish. Very boring fish. It usually needs, it's the type of fish that like needs a lot of accoutrements. I am just dumping mayo ketchup onto this. Because it's boring. It's basic. It's bland. Will?
Yeah.
You were way too generous with that 7. That batter is,
I told you it's just wrong.
it's astonishingly bad.
There's something, you did something wrong.
So did something royally wrong. All right. Well,
Also, there's like no flavoring.
okay, but one thing is that it is tilapia because there was no other fish, and tilapia is very bland.
Yeah, but your breading is just, this is like not crisp. It's not sticking to the fish, which maybe you didn't dry the fish enough.
I dried it. Should have used the blow dryer, you guys. I should have used that on the fish. Okay. Well,
I don't want to stream too late tonight because I got Penguin tomorrow.
all right, well, I gotta do film nights now. Hi, vey. All right, everybody. That is the end. Thus concludes Cooking with Quan. Thank you very much for joining. I can safely say that was one of the worst things that I've ever made. And and now it is time for part 2. But you know what? Don't forget the lessons that we learned here tonight, okay? I want you to take away with you, not this recipe.
That was perfect timing. That was intentional. Dini, thank you for the bits. BFTE, thank you for the 15 months. Support the stream to keep me cooking. Let her cook, they say. Even though maybe she shouldn't cook. Did the camera battery die? Yes. Let her cook. Stop her from cooking. All right, I really have to pee. Go piss, girl. So I am going to pull up. I am going to pull up our movie rules. Bum, 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 bum. Honestly, the mayo ketchup was good. That was good. All right, everyone.
It's a groovy time for a
Movie time.
So grab your gap and grab a seat. But don't forget to get something to eat. Delicious meat and nutritious meat.
You can't beat my meat for a special treat. Sucking on me is really neat.
Don't be a jerk and don't be a fool. Be a good neighbor and follow these rules. What are these rules? Remember to keep your shoes on at all times. Don't pull your penis out unless you really need to. Indecent exposure is a class 2 felony.
From your head. Satan will rain down your throat with hot acid, dissolve your testicles and turn your guts into snakes. This is a copyrighted movie for Time Warner. If I find you sold it on eBay, I will break into your house and tear your wife in half.
Okay, everyone. So, did you try to give? I won't even try to give that to Farley. I think he would die. All right. So, to recap, we are watching 2016's Fences, which I'm telling you, this is going to be a 180. This is going to be a 180. But this is great. And thank you for posing for thumbnail pics yesterday. Here's the final. Wait, let me see. Put her in the chat. Yes, this came out during Trump's election year. And it is the film adaptation of August Wilson's 1985 play Fences. And Fences, which he won a Pulitzer Prize for, he won a Tony for. James Earl Jones, that's who I was talking about, who originated the role of Troy in the play, and he won his second Tony Award for that. Hold, please. Oh, yes. Yep. We got her. I look cool. Perfect. That is the coolest that anybody has ever looked. And then both Viola Davis and Denzel won the Tony Awards when they starred in Fences in 2010 in the Broadway revival. And then they both went on to star in the film adaptation. And Viola Davis won her first Oscar. And she was the first black actress to win the Triple Crown of Acting, in that she has a Grammy, 2 Tonys, and an Oscar. And she also has an EGOT, because she has also won an Emmy. Yep. So she was the first black actress to win the Triple Crown, and she has an EGOT as well. She's an EGOT queen. Denzel directed this film. He also helped on the script, but they wanted to make sure that they preserved pretty much all of August Wilson's, all of his writing. So they really didn't want to, they didn't want to get too cinematic with the film, and wanted to preserve the real, just theatrical quality of it, and that it is very, very dialogue heavy, but the dialogue is amazing. The conversations are amazing. And August Wilson passed in 2005. He's the only credited screenwriter on Fences, even though Spike Lee, Denzel, and then, who was, trying to remember who else they brought in. Tony Kushner. Yeah, they brought Tony Kushner in to try and also work the script to work for the screen. But everyone decided that they did not want to take credit, because really all the writing was August Wilson's. Raphael, thank you for the 13 months. Mexa Christie, thank you for the 2 months. Wait, OMG, this movie, I love this movie. It changed my brain chemistry as a young black kid. Yeah, it's an incredible play. If you've never read Fences, highly recommend reading Fences. It's also part of, it is part of 10 plays that August Wilson wrote. And these 10 plays all take place throughout a century of the African American experience in the United States of America. Each play is in a different decade. So this play takes place in the 50s. And August Wilson wanted to tell these really nuanced, rich, dramatic stories in African American communities. He grew up in he grew up in Philly, and let me see, what was the exact place where he grew up? The Hill District. Yeah. So 9 out of the 10 plays are set in the Hill District. It's very similar to how like Stephen King sets all of his, sets a lot of his books in Maine. That is where he is from. And so August Wilson, who grew up in the Hill District in Philly, he sets most of his plays in that setting. The Denzel version plays the main character in like a humorous. He definitely is different than James Earl Jones, which we can talk about afterwards. But I wouldn't say necessarily humorous. There's more of a it's more of like a mean a mean, dangerous streak in him that James Earl Jones did not have. But anyway, without especially a film like this, where I don't want you to miss any of the dialogue. I don't want you to miss any of the dialogue. I don't want you to miss the performances. So try and, keep the commentary very sparse throughout the film, but there's a lot to talk about with this film. 5 times seeing that for me. I even though we just watched Fences the movie, I really do recommend reading Fences the play. If you ever have the opportunity to go see Fences, it is one of the most commonly produced plays. Not commonly produced, like it's a play that's done often because it's so good. It's so good. August Wilson was a master at he was a master at dialogue, but specifically, working class African American families, and giving such giving it such profoundness and such depth, and really making the dialogue sing. It's very, very poetic. And what Denzel did with the film version of Fences is he wanted to preserve the play as much as he could. And so when translating it to the screen, he really still kept that, that inherent theatricalness, and less, even though film, it's a visual medium, and this is where it gets tricky when you adapt a play to the screen, because oftentimes when you open up, we call it opening up for screen, because film is a visual medium, you lose the heart and the soul of the play. This happens often. And so Denzel did not want to lose that at all. And so he kept it very contained, kept it very intimate, because that is, plays are very, very intimate because it's taking place on one stage, and, they'll change the backgrounds and whatnot, but it's a very intimate experience. I loved how you could tell it's based off the play. A lot of the action, dialogue, performances kept that play like quality, how simple but dramatic it was. I could picture as a play in my head. Yeah, I mean, it very much so like sounds, it comes across as a play. If you were to close your eyes, you would think that you were watching a play, that you were listening to a play. And for some people, they're like, I wish that there were, I wish it had opened up more. I wish we had had more scenes that are not in the play, like show us Corey in the football field, show us Alberta, show us show us life outside of the Maxon household. But Denzel made the creative decision to keep it very, very, very close to what the play was, because the play is perfect. And I really love that he made this decision to film the screen version of Fences as close as possible to be reminiscent of the play. And it is very wordy. Like it's so much dialogue. It's so many conversations and monologues, but it is gorgeous. And this film is two things. It is the dialogue and it is the performances. And it really is one where Denzel and Viola and a couple other actors in the show who had been in the 2010 revival, like you can tell that these are lines of dialogue that live within them, because when you do a play, there's no cuts. There's no, oh, I'm going to memorize these lines, film this scene. We cut. I can memorize the lines for the next scene. If I fuck up, then we can, have someone read me the lines. No, like you memorize front to back every single line of dialogue that is in the play that you are doing. And so you can tell in the film version of Fences that Denzel, Viola, all these actors, they knew every single word. Every single word, because they have done Fences in its original format, where the dialogue is so key to the impact that Fences has. I feel like you're supposed to be overwhelmed with Troy's. Well, okay, so Troy has a ton of dialogue, and Denzel plays him as a real fast talker. So one difference between James Earl Jones, who originated the role on Broadway, versus Denzel, is James Earl Jones is physically imposing. He was a big man, and he had a huge voice. He had this thunderous, very, very famous voice. One of the defining factors of James Earl Jones as a performer was his voice. So his version of Troy there is this through line of terror. Like he is just physically and vocally imposing in the play. And Denzel, because, Denzel is Denzel, he imbues a charm. He imbues humor, but there's this underlying, simmering tension throughout the entire film. And I think one thing that helps with is seeing how Rose fell in love with Troy, and the good parts of Troy that kept her throughout the 18 years. Not just turning into a bitter woman in a bitter, loveless marriage. Like there was absolutely love there. They loved each other. They were devoted to one another, even when Troy was not faithful. So you have three different experiences, three different POVs in Fences. You have Corey, who is the son of Rose and Troy. He is, a younger generation who's growing up in the civil rights movement, and obviously racial discrimination is everywhere, and yet he has hopes and dreams, and he he believes that he can aspire to, he can aspire to what his dreams are, even with the even with racism in every in every part of the fabric of the society that he lives in. And then you have Troy. And the conflict between Troy and Corey is best understood and dictated through their professional sports dreams. So Troy obviously loved baseball, and his dream was to be a professional baseball player. Yeah, shocking. Did you know that Troy wanted to play baseball? And yet Troy grew up in a different generation. Troy grew up in a different generation from his son. And make no mistake that when Troy has that conversation with his son where he's telling him, you cannot have these dreams. You will not, the white man will not let you play football. Like, you need to focus on your job. You have a responsibility. This is your place in this world. Make no mistake about it. Make no illusions about it. And that is because Troy is deeply, deeply damaged. Troy has a lot of fucking trauma. He has a lot of trauma from his father. He has a lot of trauma from being a black man in America. And he, it manifests itself in all of his monologues about baseball and his, his looking at his son's dreams of playing football and seeing not only his own past, his own broken dreams, but seeing this world not the way that his son sees it, but as the way that he has, the way that his lived experiences growing up in a different generation than his son, but also still at a time when civil rights had not been achieved. And he does not believe that, he does not believe in those dreams because his dreams, there was never a chance for them to come true. And he's deeply damaged. And it's something where you don't have to be black in this country to have resonated, to have understood that scene, because one major theme of Fences that a lot of us can relate to is how our parents' trauma reflects on us as their children, and how even when parents try their best, and I'm not saying that Troy 100% infallible tried his best, but even when your parents think they're trying their best, that their trauma and their their anger and their relationship with a world that has hurt them is going to be reflected on their children. Parents are humans, and you look at how generational trauma is passed down, and the hope is that with every generation, you get better and you recognize that trauma, and you recognize that, okay, we are our parents, but we also aren't our parents, and we can choose to try and be better in that sense for the next generation. But I think it also starts off with understanding that our parents are humans and how they were shaped by their environment, right? Because that's another big theme in Fences, is how we are shaped by our environments. How Troy was shaped by the environment of being a black man living in America, trying to provide for his family and be a man and have a life of dignity within the confines of society.
I'm kind of hungry.
I got fish out there for you if you want it. This man just walked in. I've been standing here for 18 years cooking you that goddamn fish and chips. This fucking guy, he goes, I'm hungry. I said, yeah, there's some fish and chips out there for you. I got something you can eat. It's right out there. Go ahead. We're not making a second dinner. Anyway. Anywho, okay. So we've got Troy, we've got Corey, we've got Rose. Rose is also a product of her environment. And one thing that Rose has and that we see reflected in her relationships with her husband, with her son, with Troy's illegitimate daughter, with the people around her, and with herself, is that she is an African American woman. So not only does she have a situation that is analogous to Troy's in being a black person in America in the in the 50s and growing up growing up in the 20s and the 30s, but she is also a woman, and there are expectations because of her gender, and she is living within those parameters where she doesn't go outside of the house and do whatever she wants to do. And in that monologue, in the monologue that absolutely was, Viola deserving of the Oscar. I mean, just from the moment that she steps on, or the moment that she appears on screen, Viola Davis is magnificent. She is perfect. She is perfect as Rose. And she is so heartbreaking, but also in a way where it's not a, it's not a pitting of a Rose because she is a shrinking violet, because she is a kept woman, because she is, because Troy was unfaithful to her, because she, whatever. It's because Rose is also, a character in this story who has hopes and dreams that will never be realized, but she bears them in silence. Rose is a character who suffers in silence and yet is so resilient, and yet still manages to find happiness and love in her life. And she, in that final scene with Corey, and that's why I fucking put this on email mode, because just a lot of people were saying things, and I know it was disrupting the chat, but Rose isn't saying that she is right. She is not saying that Troy, or that is the, that is the right thing to do things. But it was almost like the cross we bear type of conversation. And what she was saying to her son is, this shadow is a part of you because that is your father, and you will not become, she was like, not going to your father's funeral is not going to make you a man. Like, you are who you are and how you are. And you can't escape. Like, the way that I read that is, she wasn't excusing Troy. She wasn't saying that he was 100% right in everything she was, and everything he did. But she was also saying that he wasn't devoid of love for his son, and that he was not perfect. But there were some things that, the good parts, the good parts of Troy that she, that is a part of her son as well. And that Troy wanted to pass along to his son, and that he should take those good parts, that he did love them. And he was, he was a man who strived to have dignity in life in the only way that he thought was possible. And that was, that was being responsible as a father, and making sure that there was food on the table and a roof over his family's head, and that he always got up and he worked. And and I think it's Rose, coming to, there's a lot going on because Troy has died, and she obviously had a lot of anger towards him, but I think it was also her accepting that Troy had, Troy had done bad things and had hurt people, and he was so not a perfect person, but that there were parts of him that were good. And that is the complexity and the nuance of human beings. And I do not look at the character of Troy and write him off as just a bad person. I don't look at Troy and go, oh yeah, no, he just sucks. He's just a narcissist. He's a piece of shit. Because August Wilson's writing is too good. It's too good for that. The way that he sculpts these characters and the life that he breathes into them, and how he is not excusing, he's not saying that we are a product of our environment and so therefore we are not responsible for hurting people, that we're not responsible for bad traits like being selfish and the things that Troy absolutely was, but that he's what he really sculpts in these characters is how we are a product of our environment, and there is so many layers of complexity to that, whether you are a man, a woman, a man, a woman, a black man, a black woman, their black child who's growing up in a different generation. And we are deeply flawed as human beings. We are deeply flawed. But I think it's important to understand that it's not just bad and it's not just good. And Troy is there's a lot of tragedy there. There's a lot of tragedy, and one of the reasons that Troy talks so much is that he is illiterate. He cannot read. As was the situation for, many people in his social and economic and racial class, is that he, as an adult, lacks the ability to read. But yet he needs to have his voice heard, and he needs to have, he cannot read stories, and so he will tell stories. And I think, a big part of Troy being just constantly talking and monologuing and telling stories that some of which are true and some of which are exaggerated, that's the way that he survives. I think it's part of his survival. I think being able to talk was a way through for him. Would have been a great streamer, yeah. And it also, the way that Denzel plays the character of Troy, it shows you these different facets of him. Sometimes he is terrifying. Sometimes he's charming. Sometimes he's funny. Sometimes he's heartbreaking. And these are the complexities and the layers of Troy. Sometimes he is just, extremely self-centered. He's selfish. Other times you see that he is trying to do what he thinks is expected of him as a black man and a father, in that he is living up to his responsibilities in providing food and a home for his family. But then within that, he obviously has a lot of guilt. He is struggling with his brother, who was grievously injured in the war, and it gave him brain damage. And it is because of that government stipend that they are able to have that house. So there's also that, that push and pull with Troy, where he's like, as a black man living in this, living in this reality, the only way I have a life of dignity, the only way that I can actually be of any worth is to provide for my family. But if it weren't for my brother's brain injury, I wouldn't be making enough, no matter how hard I work, to put a roof over my family's head. So August Wilson is incredible at infusing personal drama with larger social commentary, right? Where this drama is happening in this one family, in a community, in one community, in one city, in one state in the United States of America. But it's with the background, within the context of the socio and economic situation, socio and economic reality of that time period. I think something not everyone considers is he was living in a state of survival that required selfishness for a very long time. Incarceration also requires a large degree of selfishness. Then he gets out and is expected to be selfless. Two major extremes. Yeah, I mean, Troy had a very hard life. Troy had a very hard life, and it requires a degree of empathy to understand this character, right? If you do not have empathy for Troy, you can't understand this character at all. Like, you'll just have a very superficial reading of this character. So I wanted to talk about what I had mentioned before we watched the film, which is that August Wilson had written 10 plays, and it was called August Wilson's Century Cycle. And all 10 plays take place in the 20th century. Each one is a different decade. So Fences, which was the play that brought him national acclaim, takes place from 1956 to like 1965. And 9 out of the 10 plays, with the exception of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, take place in the in the Pittsburgh area. It's so the plays are also known as the Pittsburgh Cycle, because he has this one specific area where he grew up, and he sets his plays there, and each one is a very nuanced detailing of the African American experience in a different decade throughout the 20th century. And he really he really documented and preserved the African American experience throughout the span of 100 years by writing these plays and by bringing them to life. And it's interesting because August Wilson had a white mother, white father. His mother was African American. His father was white. Later, his mother married an African American man, and they moved to a suburb that was mostly white. And so that was a formative experience for him, being one of the only African American families in this neighborhood. He dropped out of school at 15 because he was falsely accused of plagiarism, and he educated himself at the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. And he was actually awarded a high school diploma from the Carnegie Library, and it was the first high school diploma that they ever gave out. But that was where that's where he really trained himself. He educated himself. He read a lot. He was very inspired by the blues genre. And he eventually got into theater and playwriting. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't also recognize the incredible Lloyd Richards, who really kind of helped springboard Wilson's career and also directed the original run of Fences at Yale Rep and then later on Broadway. Yeah. I mean, there's so much to get into on August Wilson's life and his career, so I'm just kind of trying to keep it brief to talk mostly about Fences. Carnegie Library billionaires used to flex by spending their money on stuff people could use. I know. It's like, can we go back to that, please? I emphasized, but he needed to check that attitude. Look. Empathy does not mean condoning. Empathy does not mean that you go, oh yeah, that character's not responsible for any of their bad behavior. That character is, we can't say anything negative about them because they're just a product of a cruel environment. They were shaped by social, racial, and economic factors outside of their control. No. It's about understanding, and it's a way to get the whole picture and to see all the nuance, so that you don't just have a surface reading or a surface level understanding of a character like Troy. Mystic Goat, thank you for the raid. It also is not just to realize the struggles of the history and what they're going through still are. It also highlights the pain they had to accept when making hard decisions like Gabriel, which is still relevant today in the disabled community. Did you know that Viola wanted to do the What About My Life scene much softer, and Denzel was like, what the fuck, no. I don't think I did know that. He's like, no, you need to go, you need to go so hard on this. Okay, another thing about Fences is August Wilson really challenged the stereotype, the assumption that white America had of African American men as lazy, as irresponsible. I mean, this is not to say that like Troy and having his affair and fathering a child was not irresponsible in that way. I don't know if like irresponsible is the word I would use, but it's basically, Troy Maxson represents a lot of African American men in the country at that time, in that they were incredibly hardworking. They were trying to fulfill these responsibilities, to have their place in this world where the walls the walls had been pushed in. So there's only so far that you get to go. You're boxed in. You don't, make no illusion about it. But a character like Troy represents how you can still strive to have, to have purpose and meaning and dignity, et cetera, et cetera. And same goes with the character of Rose, except she also has the additional, she also has the addition of being a woman. She is an African American woman, and so with the gender expectations and the the way that African American women have suffered in such silence, and the crosses they have bore, but getting no flowers, not even getting to have, not even getting to express their pain and dissatisfaction with their lives, and having to really, having to like also sacrifice their happiness and aspirations, but to do so quietly. And how Troy, when she says, you take and you don't even see nobody given, what she's saying is like, you take and you don't see that I'm the one who makes that sacrifice there, that you are taking from I'm the one who is giving that, because you don't see my struggles. You don't see my dreams that I had to bury inside me. He uses the metaphor of baseball all the time, and she uses the metaphor of plants, of seeds, and how, she looked at this as, yeah, I needed to have a husband. I'm a woman in the 1950s, or I guess they got together in like the 1930s. I'm a woman in the 1930s. I need to have a husband for economic security, even though, as poor Black people, it's not enormous economic security, but it is more so that she would have without being married. And so Rose is, she doesn't take all of Troy's shit. That's one thing that's so wonderful in their back and forth, is how, before he like reveals that he's had this child and whatnot, is that she pushes back on him. She teases him, she calls him out. She's not a shrinking violet, but she still has to rely on him. She still is oppressed by the cult of domesticity, and her role as a Black woman in the United States of America, where she is so many levels oppressed. And that is, she's very aware about that. Yeah. She can only dream to do as much as she knows. And yet she still has this spirit, she still has this unyielding love, and she has this loyalty, and it is so heartbreaking, but also admirable. And, her relationship with his daughter at the end, when we have that time jump, and how she's, she is an incredibly selfless woman, and she finds she does find satisfaction and happiness in her relationships with her children, her relationship with her husband before he, announced that he had had an affair, because he had to. Otherwise, he's been standing here and he fulfills his responsibilities as a caregiver, and so God damn it if he wants to go have an affair and have a child. In the context of everything, I understood it to mean that she got what she wanted but couldn't have it all, and that was okay. Are you talking about the monologue? I've been standing with you. I've been right here, Troy. No, I mean, she is saying, like, the point of that monologue is to say, do you not think that I didn't have dreams? That I don't have needs and wants? You think you're the only one who has had to live with the, who has to live with the cruel reality that a lot of your dreams were just never possible in the first place? You think you're the only one who wanted to go out and explore and act on your desires? That's what she's saying there. No, I'm talking about the Corey part. Oh, okay. No, with the Corey part. No, I agree. I think I said that she is saying, I mean, we already talked about this, but she is saying that she has love and that she has a life still, even though she did not, would never be able to have the things, all the things that she wanted. But she was also explaining to him, she was, and not in a way where she's like, this is that you're, you need to forgive your father, that like your father was correct. She was just saying your father wasn't all a bad man. Your father wasn't all a bad man, and the good parts of him are in you. The story highlights how determined she is to value people despite the cruelty of the world, in contrast to him who becomes unavailable and apathetic and cruel. It's like the Two Roads meme. Yeah, I mean, you see two people reacting to their circumstances, to the hand that they have been given, and you have, you have empathy for both of them. And there's such tragedy there. But it's also it's hard because Rose is an unsung hero. Rose is an unsung hero. And it's not to say that, like, the way that Rose bears her pain is how people should, how you should bear your pain. How, if you were Black in the 1950s, that you should have acted. But it's just, showing these two different characters responding to their environments, but also there being, there being these differences because Rose, in addition to being Black, is also a woman. So she's like, yes, Troy, you provided for this family. You are hardworking. You never, you never have failed in your responsibility to, in your responsibility to your family in the way that you view responsibility to your family. But that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean that you get to then go do whatever you want outside of the home because you've had it so bad. Like you don't even realize what you've taken from me. You know, what I have given. Yeah. Providing, but at what cost? But also Rose is a provider, even though she can't go out and make the money. And, you know, she, because of the gender norms, the various gender expectations, and yet it's, you know, her reminding him that she is provided as well. And the way both Troy and Rose respond to trauma speaks to yeah, I don't know if it's like, I don't think it's I don't think it is empowered femininity. I don't think it's Rose like breaking, like I don't think it's Rose in delivering these monologues trying to crush these structures. She's not like, we need to end this oppression, not just against Black people, but against women. I think she's just acknowledging her fucking reality and getting to speak about herself and, you know, and her life, and say what about me? What about my life? Do you even ever consider that? And the film is answering that question. You know? It's answering the question, what about Rose's life? And at the end, you know, Rose she's raising Troy's daughter. She goes on. She continues on. I feel like Bono was a good counter to Troy. He opens the story discussing Troy's love of women, and Troy assures him he's not stepping out on Rose. We hear how we assume Bono's treating his wife and family that different from Troy, but also don't have identical lives. Perhaps he didn't grow up with the same trauma that Troy did, or just had a natural self-awareness, was able to make a change. Yeah, like Bono is also he is also a Black man in the same society, and yet he is, you know, he has a different way of going about his responsibilities to his wife and to his family than how he sees Troy. And he keeps telling Troy, you know, keeps warning him. He's like, this is all going to end badly. This is all going to end in ruin. And there's one point that they're having this conversation in the background. It's like all rubble and whatnot, which is just a really great symbolic moment. And he's looking at Troy and going, you are still holding on to this anger that you had 30 years ago, right? This anger and this resentment and this trauma that you cannot find a way through. So manhood tends to equate to control when you have so much of your rights taken away. You can yeah, I mean, look, we've had a lot of conversations in the wake of the election about the expectations on men, the you know, assumptions and societal dictations on how men should be, but also, you know, the rights that men have over women, where Troy gets to go out and have an affair because he did everything else he needed to do. He always says over and over again, do you not have food on the table every night? Do you not have a roof over your head? Do you not, you know, have I not provided for you? So I'm, you know, I needed something. I did those things, and I needed something for me because I have nothing else in my life. And that's what Rose pushes back on. She's like, how dare you? How dare you? And I think Bono's the guy who, he's calling his friend out. He's like, look, dude, I love you. And I know that life is rough, but he's basically saying, like, Rose does not deserve this. He's like, you are not thinking about Rose. He's kind of doing you've had a lot of shit things happen in life. You're the parameters, the societal parameters around us sucks, but you also don't get to use that as an excuse to harm your wife this way. He's like, I don't think so. So I guess we can talk a little bit about like technical elements of the film. It's as I said, the beating heart of Fences is the dialogue, August Wilson's dialogue, and the performances where they just they just inhabit these characters so authentically and so thoroughly, and it's very, it's very gripping. You're exhausted by the time you finish a film like this, but it's the kind of film where the writing's just so good. So good. So you stay in it. And with that, the camera movements, the camera plays second fiddle, right? When you have dialogue like this, when the focus is on the words, the camera is there to just capture that rather than trying to compete, rather than trying to be, a character on its own, add all of these cinematic elements to, to enhance the visual imagery of the film. It's the camera in Fences is there to, it's just like a portal basically to show us these conversations happening in this home, in this backyard, in this area of Pittsburgh in the 1950s. Yeah, and so we can talk briefly about the fence as well. The fence, obviously a metaphor. Fences are something that keep people in or they keep people out, and fences are also something that you can build literally, as they did in the movie, but then also build metaphorically, like figuratively, in relationships that you have, and how you could see that fence in every relationship in Troy's life. You could see how his relationship with death, and thinking he could build this fence and keep death away, and the irony of that he dies swinging the baseball bat because he has a heart attack. It's the thing that he claimed to love more than anything that ended up killing him. It wasn't like the baseball that killed him, it was the heart attack that killed him, but you get the point. Things that were different from reading it in high school to watching this movie is seeing how characters not in the scene listen into select conversations. Seeing how characters not in the scene listening into I'm sorry, I don't really I'm sorry. I was trying to read that comment. I was like, I don't know if I know what that means. I like the detail of how lions never stayed to eat, but finally did once Troy passed. Very small moment, but poignant. Yeah, and then, with lions, that's Troy's son from a previous relationship, and he's also he's an artist. He's somebody who has these dreams, has these aspirations, and his father is cruel to him. And it's kind of, his relationship with lions is different from his relation with Corey, because with lions he just is very dismissive of him, and he makes it clear, he makes it known to lions that he thinks he is a fool, and being a starving artist is not going to get him anywhere, and he's wasting his life. Didn't understand the music thing, but really, again, this comes from looking at his sons and going, no, you can't have these dreams. This is not possible. Like, the best that you can hope for is this. And so that's what you need to be doing. And then Lyons ends up in jail, like his father. He cashes bad checks in order to try to survive as a musician, as an artist. And there are, it's, he recognizes the parallel there to his father's life. But once his father is gone, once his father is gone, it's like the fences between these other characters are allowed to come down. You see Corey and Lyons have this conversation. You see Corey, or you see Lyons stay for dinner finally, that he gets rid of that fence that he's put up. So many fences. As soon as I saw a musician paying somebody back their money, I knew something was up. Yeah. Striking out Troy's insecurities caused by his traumatic adolescence had such an impact on how he treated his own son, Corey, carrying over these insecurities from father to son. Generational trauma on full display. Oh, yeah. Big part of Fences. Okay, I want to play this for y'all. Hold on. Can we watch your version of the monologue?
It would be curious.
Okay, this is obviously not me really.
Don't you think it ever crossed my mind to know other men? That I wanted to lay up somewhere and forget my responsibilities? That I wanted someone to make me laugh so I could feel good?
Okay, that was not.
You're not the
This was not me putting my all into it, okay? Let me just be clear. Let me be clear.
only one who's got wants and needs. But I held on to you, Troy. I took all my feelings and my wants and my needs, my dreams, and I buried them inside you.
I was
planted
cutting an
seed
onion.
and watched and prayed over it. And it didn't take me 18 years. It didn't take me 18 years to find out that the soil was hard and rocky and it wasn't never gonna bloom. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they are saying I'm the next Viola Davis. Okay, speaking of Viola Davis.
This category was for Best Performance by an Actress in an Opposing Role.
Here.
Manchester by the...
Yeah, super duper deserved. Super duper. All right, this is the 1987 Tonys. When Fences won Best Play.
Ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Close and William Hurt. This year, the Tonys for Best Play and Musical are being presented after all the other awards. Now, this isn't necessarily because they're more important. It's simply a matter of natural progression.
Every other person who has been up here tonight, every nominee in every category is a part of this moment. And the Tony Award, the winner is Fences. Author, August Wilson. Producer, Carol Florentine Hayes. Yale Repertory Theater.
This is for my daughter, Sakina, my family, and all the Troy Maxons. I want to thank Lloyd Richards, who has afforded me the opportunity of working with one of the giants of the American theater. I am, by my association with him, in continual honor. Carol Shorenstein Hayes, whose belief and commitment to this work, I thank her and I salute her courage. Ben Mordecai, who's both a friend and professional associate, has proved invaluable. John Braylio for bringing the play to the attention of Mrs. Hayes. And I would like to thank all the wonderful people at the Yale Repertory Theater, the Goodman Theater, and Seattle Repertory Theater for allowing me to continue to work on the play. And most importantly, my wife, Judy Oliver, who's been there at 3 o'clock in the morning when the rest of the world has been asleep. Thank you very much.
I think I'm going to give birth right now.
That would have been crazy. She just goes, thank you. I just want to...
My wife, Judy Oliver, who's been there at 3 o'clock in the morning when the rest of the world has been asleep. Thank you very much.
Aww. Who's been there at 3 o'clock in the morning when the rest of the world has been asleep. That's so romantic. That's so romantic. Wow. Wow, I've been standing here. I've been standing here right beside you, Troy. God love you, Rose. God love all the Roses who have suffered in silence, who have, the unsung heroes. These after movie remarks were some Ben Mankiewicz type shiz of a closing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate film class. I appreciate the work you put in to entertain, educate, and distract us every week. Oh, thank you, Manis boy. You and Will deserve so many flowers for the movie nights you guys put on. If you appreciate, I can't even speak. If you appreciate the streams, please keep coming back. Please keep showing up. Please subscribe if you can. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free sub month. I, above all though, am happy to have these conversations and these streams with y'all, even though some people were saying some whack ass shit at the end. But, we're learning. I am aware that Fences is not it's a lot. It's very heavy. It's a ton of monologues. It's a lot of words. And to be able to share that on a platform that I know is not necessarily suited for these types of conversations, and it's great. It is. I am I am very grateful. I'm very, very grateful that you guys are here for it, that you're down for it, you know? I get to like share my love of theater and of performance and powerful art with you peeps. With you peeps. And I will tell you right now, when I'm trying to decide what to watch, I'm aware that I could put on like a blockbuster type of film, something that's, popcorn, turn your brain off, just here for the entertainment type of film. And I really appreciate that I get to show you guys films like Fences and everything everything that we've watched here on the stream that I know a lot of people have watched for the first time, that they've heard for the first time. As the one and only pop culture enthusiast in my friend group, you have no idea how much I appreciate your stream and now your podcast, because I have literally no one to share these things with. Thank you so much for doing these. Well, I'm really happy to get to be that streamer and now podcaster for you. And yeah, it's between Will and I and everyone else who does film class or something like it on Twitch. I hope that it has opened more people up to this. I hope it's opened more people up to film that they otherwise would never have seen. That's what's really cool about it, is that I don't think a lot of people would have watched Little Shop of Horrors if they didn't come here and watch it on the stream, or Clute. I mean, now we've got Get Cluted. How many people didn't know what that, didn't know what that meant before we watched Donald Sutherland and Jane Fonda starring in Clute? Get Cluted. Or Titanic 666. Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't have Titanic 666 without Phil Knight. Have you seen August Osage County, another movie based on a play? Lots of deep family drama. One of my favorite movies. Yes, that is one that I watched with my mom. My mom is very hard to watch movies with, because she hates most things. And I have tried to open her up to a world of film that she just absolutely fucking refuses to. Her favorite line is, "Oh, this is just ridiculous. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, come on." I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry that all you love are really tragic World War II British television shows. Just like, if it's not making me depressed, but in a very specific way. So she'd be one of those chatters. Yeah. Yeah. I started watching because The Walking Dead gameplay, stuck around because I get to watch something that's not just brain rot. Yeah. We try to have intellectually stimulating times here on the stream. And then, also do some dumb shit, but it's good. It's good to have that balance. If you watch any anime movies, highly recommend Perfect Blue. I fucking love Perfect Blue. Love, love, love Perfect Blue. I have a friend that can never get into animation, even if it has very mature themes. They're like, it's a cartoon. Why am I going to watch a cartoon? All right, y'all. So I mean, I'm definitely leaving out I'm definitely leaving out a lot with Fences because there's so much to break down. There's just so much to break down, so much to talk about, but we definitely covered a lot of the big things. And you know, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm going to go watch The Penguin. Because goddamn, what a great show. Holy moly. Yeah, I'm trying to reset my sleep schedule so I'm not sleeping as much. And I also went to the Rose Bowl flea market today, which nowadays doing any activity has me like. So I am sorry, we're not doing any gaming, and I won't be here tomorrow because I will be filming the podcast. But I will be back on. Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, no, my sleep schedule is. I'm a broken record, but it is very fucked. It's very, very fucked. So I've been in the trenches of trying to reset my sleep schedule. The pod's on 15,000 views. What? Let's go. Now I know that usually the first episode has an extra bump, but that's awesome. I can't believe that.
Don't you think it ever crossed?
No, why is that monologue playing again? No, thank you. That's sick. That's super exciting. Love that very much. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you. And we'll be filming episode 2 tomorrow and then releasing it on Thursday. So that's all she wrote. That's it. That's all, y'all. Thank you, August Wilson, for being the artist that you were and for gifting us with your talent, for leaving behind a treasure trove of your work. We thank you, and we hope that you are still writing. If whatever happens after death, hopefully people like August Wilson still have the ability to write. I'm gonna send you guys to Mr. Wobble's Twitch. Mr. Wobble's Twitch. Okie dokie. Okie dokie artichokes. Mitch, thank you so much for the 19 months. I will see you on Tuesday. Thank you for film night. This is good, especially after the tribute we got recently. You're welcome. Great analysis, Caroline. Thank you for the stream. You're so welcome. Goodbye, everybody. Until next time.